Okay. Hello. Good morning, Near Ecosystem. Welcome today. You are tuned in for the fourth workshop in the Innovation Sandbox, running from January 26th until February 16th. Got about 2 more weeks left. Yeah, about 2 more weeks left. We've got some good mornings in the chat. Good to see you guys. Thank you for tuning in. So today is going to be a great workshop. It's going to be by the PingPay team. We're going to be exploring PingPay, talking about their checkout, their ping links, and their on-ramp, and a little bit more. So let me bring them on. I'm joined today by Jay and
Scott.
How's it going, guys? Oops. Oh. There we go. I don't know why we're all small.
Let's go.
Well, anyways, I'm going to give you guys the stage. I'm going to bring up your slides. Go ahead, introduce yourselves, do your workshop, and have fun. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Yeah, it's here.
Awesome, man. Thanks, Elliot. All right. Well, I guess let's jump right into it. Hey, everyone. I'm Jay. This is Jess. And PingPay has been building out the orchestration layer for payments, leveraging the universal liquidity layer of Neurotense. We've got a bit of an agenda today. So as far as it goes, we'll cover an overview of what PingPay is, discuss the bounty for the innovation sandbox, and we'll jump into things like that you could leverage as part of the bounty, like the ping links, the checkout API, and the on-ramp SDK, which should hopefully give you a better picture on how each thing could fit into what you're currently working on in the hackathon. So for an overview of what Ping is, Ping essentially sits at the center layer above fiat and all chains, acting as one payment network that connects all blockchains and fiat systems into a range of different use cases, from SaaS payments, e-commerce, bill splitting, subscriptions, micro payments, agentic commerce, kind of the list goes on. But these use cases are all able to be facilitated by our anything to anything payment offerings within the Ping layer. But why does this matter, and why should someone build with Ping during the innovation sandbox? It matters because payments are currently living in silos. Every chain still runs on its own payment rails, and even as new layer ones and layer twos start targeting the payment space and try to make their own improvements, they're just further isolating liquidity and users across all of these different networks. If you add fiat into that mix, fiat and crypto are still massively disconnected, slow, expensive, and full of friction for people to get on chain, or for them to pay you on chain from fiat directly. But when funds do move, payment settlement alone isn't enough. There needs to be a level of orchestration, things like refunds, automation, compliance, dispute resolution, all from a single place to easily manage your assets and payments across fiat and crypto. And that's what Ping is trying to do. But why? Commerce is shifting really quickly, and we're seeing in real time, especially over the most recent weeks, how AI economies need crypto rails and legacy systems can't deliver those. Chain abstraction and Neurotense are unlocking new ways and approaches for payments, which is what Ping's putting into practice to help alleviate this problem. And like I said previously, payment settlement is one layer of orchestration. Ping's aiming to abstract everything and make it as easy as possible to create your payment experiences. I think, for example, the Ping dashboard aims to be your universal asset management layer, allowing merchants to use and manage money from all chains and fiat from that one place, whilst making sure we strive to work seamlessly with other payment platforms and Web2 systems in tandem, so you're kind of not vendor locked into using just Ping. But yeah, we plan to give full visibility of payments and orders while providing the tools to design specific payment experiences for your use cases. All of it's powered by Near, driving account usage and transaction volume through Neurotense. Okay, so now you know more about Ping. Let's go back into the main reason why we're here, which is to talk about the bounty sponsorship that we're doing for the Innovation Sandbox. As part of the bounty, I would love to see any teams build an application, an agent, or a SaaS workflow that uses Ping for payments across fiat and crypto, whether that be through the API, Ping links, or the on-ramp SDK. And we're going to go through each one of those individually now. So we will start with Ping links. Ping links are a no-code solution for accepting anything-to-anything payments. You can create a hosted checkout in seconds, let users pay their way, and you receive the payment in the asset that you want to sell in. I do have a demo, which we'll quickly run through for ping links. Then we'll go through onto the API and then the on-ramp SDK. So once this loads, awesome. So the ping dashboard section shows all of the payment links at a glance, the name, their description, the type that the payment is, whether that's fixed or an open amount, the amount you've priced it in, and the volume of payments made to each link. You can also filter them from active to inactive and manage them, whether that be sharing the link, copying the link, editing it, or if there's any changes you want to make, or deleting them entirely. You can also view the details section to see all of the volume and individual payments made to this link. All of the progress statuses for the payments, kind of from pending to success, are shown here too. You can also view directly on the Explorer, and you can export each payment into a CSV for bookkeeping if you would like to do that as well. In terms of making a payment link, that's like super easy as well. You just essentially navigate to the Create Ping tab and enter the title, description, and the payment amount of the asset you would want to receive. You can choose the type of payment that you want, whether that's fixed or open, like I mentioned before. This open is good for things like tips or donations. The payment maker essentially at checkout chooses the amount that they want to pay. But for the sake of the demo, it would just be 5 USDC on Near. And then, of course, the wallet address that you want that payment to go to. Then once it's created, it's designed to be, like I say, really easy to distribute. You've got 3 options: via manual copy, or you can share via QR code, which is great for things like NearCon, in-person events, or activations. The QR code can be scanned and take people directly to checkout for that payment link. And you can also share it directly on Twitter or socials as well. But yeah, now that link's been created in the demo, you can go through and view the checkout for that specific link. There are 3 main options for the ways to pay, which are all powered by Near Intents: payment via wallet, payment via deposit, and payment via card. The flow for deposit is you can pay via manual deposit from any chain. You can see here that all of the chains and assets supported by Near Intents are an option for you to pay with. You just select it, and then you would get the quote and deposit address for making that payment directly for whichever chain you want to make it from. This is good if you don't want to connect your wallet or just pay from any chain. You can also scan the QR code and make manual payment from your mobile directly to the merchant. In terms of wallet payments, going through the wallet flow, you just select the asset that you want to pay with. You can see the balances directly in your wallet, so you can make a decision for what you want to pay with. In this scenario, it's Near. You can also then view the detailed information for that payment before you proceed. And then once you approve your payment and click pay, you obviously approve that in your wallet. Then you're waiting for payment. This payment gets routed through Near Intents from Near in my wallet to USDC in the wallet of the merchant, with kind of no intermediary steps. You pay the way you want to pay, they receive what you want to pay and what they want to receive. Once that payment is successful, the merchant's dashboard then updates completely with that payment. So you can see here that 5 USD was received, and then you can view the detailed information of that transaction. It's there, successful, and that can be viewed on the Explorer as well. Awesome. So then in terms of next slide, then we have the Ping API, which uses the same underlying tech as the Ping link, but it is a checkout API in which teams can easily integrate into their applications and start accepting payments in any asset supported by Near Intents while settling in the token that they want to receive. So same concept as the Ping links, but just a much more detailed flow that's customizable for developers to integrate into their applications. Same as in the Ping link, it offers 3 payment flows out of the box. Pay with the wallet. This is currently for all Near assets on Intents. And then pay with deposit, like I showed before, for all manual deposits or QR scans from any Near Intents asset. And then pay with cards, which is powered by our chain abstracted on-ramp SDK, which will be shown later on in the presentation as well. So same premise as the Ping link. It's designed to be really easy to get started and integrate in less than 10 minutes. All you've got to do is grab an API key from the dashboard. Once you've created that API key, you can obviously then use that in your application. You then need to create any webhooks you would like. And then the final step is just set the desired recipient wallet address in the settings tab. This is where all of the payments through your API will go to without needing to do any additional steps to manually withdraw funds that are made. It would all just go to the one settlement wallet address. Similarly, in this dashboard, you can also view all of the payments that come into this API. And then session info also shows a flow for checkout analytics of where anyone drops off in the flow, if they connect but don't make payment, if they select their asset but don't make payment, or if they go all the way through the flow. And then in the customers tab, you can also search for specific customers and the information on payments that they've made. And I believe this is where Jas is going to jump in for some more detail on the API. And I've been rambling, so jump in.
Thank you, Jay. I'm going to take a second to share my screen here quickly. All right, okay. Right, so I quickly want to go through what it feels like to use the API, and we can look at one of the example repos. We have two open source repos for the API example and the on-ramping example. I'm hoping we can cover them both a little bit and how the whole process works, like what do you need to do the integration, and then we can look into some of the things as well. First of all, very quickly, as Jay covered, you need to go to the PingPay dashboard, and you need to have an API key for your organization. You can create as many keys you want, and based on these keys, you are also going to see the different payments which are associated with your specific API key. Another important detail is that you have to set a default recipient address for your organization. Let me look into the docs quickly and see how you can integrate Ping API in your application. So first of all, go to the dashboard, get your API keys, create webhooks for your application, and I just talked about default recipient address that you need to set, otherwise your checkout creation is going to fail. Quick note about the webhooks. When you integrate Ping in your application and you are redirected to the Ping app to make the actual payment, you can, in your checkout creation, set up a success URL or a cancel URL, which is essentially saying if the payment is successful, redirect to this URL. If the payment is not successful, redirect to this URL. And this redirection comes with some URL parameters like was the payment success or not, and some other attributes as well. Sometimes redirections can go bad for a lot of reasons. Maybe you'll lose internet, maybe you open some other application, and for whatever reason, sometimes redirect just don't work. In this case, we don't want you to lose your payment confirmation or the status of your payment. An easy way and sort of a standard practice to sort of overcome this is to set up webhooks for such out of the app payments. So you can go to the dashboard and create webhooks for your app. What you're basically saying is in the Ping system, you're saying for this API key, this is the API that Ping is supposed to call and post the status of your specific payment. So you do not have to rely on the redirect URL to check if your payment was a success or a failure. You can always rely on your own backend, to which Ping backend will always send the status of a specific payment to. And then let's look at how do you actually integrate Ping API. We kind of do, you can do this in two ways. you can use Ping's for hosted checkout app, or you could do headless. Headless payment is still in the works, and whenever we complete it, we will uh, make a formal announcement. But for now, we are only doing hosted checkout. The way hosted checkout works is in your application, you first have to create a session for your particular sale. So whatever you're selling, whenever a user hits creating checkout sessions, they you put a lot of details that we'll go through in a second, and then a checkout session is created for you for that specific sale. Then you get so this is what the request body looks like. You have to mention the amount that you want to get paid. This amount is in it's formatted with decimals of that particular chain asset. So crypto assets are known to have these long decimal for whatever reason. Let's say USDC has 6, Near has 24, Ethereum has 18. Um, Here you can define your amount in these non-formatted way. So this right here is actually 1 USDC because it has 6 decimals, 6 zeros beyond that. You then define the asset you want. So let's say the chain you want is Near, the symbol you want is USDC. You could also do Near on Near, you could do USDT on Near, you could do Black Dragon on Near, or whatever your favorite token you want to get paid in. If you want to do Bitcoin, you can say chain is Bitcoin and symbol is BTC. You could do Solana, you could do Ethereum, Zcash, whatever you want. Then for redirection, you can mention your success or cancel URL. And then you can also associate metadata for this sale, which goes in Ping's dashboard, and you can see what was the sale about. Amount and recipient are kind of necessary. Recipient can be set by default in the dashboard as well. You will see a response when you call this API. It will be Ping's checkout apps. You get a unique session created for yourself, and you just have to redirect your users now to the Ping app with the session ID. Let's look at how this works in a code example. So I'm going to pull up a code example that you will find. Hold on. Pin check example. So if you go to PingPay IO, get a repo, and go to pin checkout example, you will find this example and you can run it. We'll make sure we put this in the hackathon resources as well. So let me run this application, but also just walk you through as to what's happening here. So this is my application. There are again code examples here for everyone. So you call the PingPay API.
Just to jump in quickly, someone's saying that your mic's a bit funny on the stream.
Oh, okay.
Is this a bit better now?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
All good.
Is it better now?
Yeah, you're good. Don't worry.
Okay. Right. So I was going through these code examples we have on the demo app. The first block is basically you creating a checkout session. And these are the things you need to create it. First of all, you need your API key. Then in the body of the request, you need to define the amount, the asset. We just went through all this from the docs. You can create a webhook endpoint through this API, but you could also just do it in the dashboard. So this is kind of not mandatory. You can always do it here. Oops. You can always do it in the dashboard right here. And finally, webhook does a bunch of verification stuff. So it's not like anybody can call your backend. So in your backend, when you're implementing this API, which will receive the status from Ping's backend, you got to do this. It's all in the doc, so you can go from there. Quickly going through the code base here of the example app, we are absolutely doing nothing fancy, but taking the PingPay API URL and then defining these checkout session parameters, which is your amount, asset, redirect URLs, metadata, and then just creating a checkout session. And then this checkout session gives you a response, which has a session URL, and then we are just redirecting the user to the Ping's checkout app. So this checkout session doesn't do anything fancy. Just take the Ping API URL and calling the checkout / sessions endpoint there. Let's look at the demo and see what happens. So this demo is accepting 100 1 USDC on near. We can also try changing the symbol here and see what happens. I'm going to do pay with Ping. It creates a session for me. You can see 1 USDC is being asked, and you can do pay with wallet. You can pay with deposit. We are also doing pay with card. It's under development right now. It might land on the system any day now. I'm going to go ahead to pay with wallet, and then I can just pick whatever asset I want, and all these are intents supported, and I can pick whatever I want. And you can see that just.near is the recipient because that's what my default recipient in the organization is. Right. So you make the payment and the payment goes to whatever default recipient address is yours. Jay, do you want me to make the payment right now?
I mean, we can just keep moving. Don't worry. I think that's fine.
Cool. One thing I wanted to do quickly was let's try doing something as I know Ethereum has 18 decimal points. I'm going to do 18. So this is like 1 Ethereum. So I'm going to take, I think, 2 zeros off from here. So that's 0.00 Ethereum. Symbol ETH, and this is ETH as well. So let's see how this goes. I'm hoping it works, but maybe I'm fucking screwing up the chain and symbol. Sorry for my French. Pay with Ping. And let's go, 0.01 ETH, which is 19 USD. I can then again pay with wallet and pick any asset on near if I want to do wallet. If I want to do it through deposit, I can pick so many other assets as well. No liquidity available. Okay, we can look into that. But yeah, it's as simple as creating a checkout session at the API endpoint and then just redirecting your users to the session URL you get back from Ping. And then the redirection and everything is handled by Ping. It'll redirect back to your app. You can process the status of the payment. You can display payment successful. You can display a confetti blowing off on the screen, whatever you want. So all of the redirection stuff and webhooks stuff is handled on Ping side. The only thing you need to do is call the sessions endpoint, create a session, redirect your users to the session URL, and that's it. That's all you need to integrate Ping in your application. Do you have any specific questions, Jay, before I give you the stage back and you can talk about on-ramp a little bit?
No, I don't have any. I think there might be some Q&A at the end. We can take any questions about the widget at that point. I think that's a good way to go.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and give you the stage.
Awesome, nice. So yeah, we've covered the Ping links, we've covered the checkout API and the dashboard as a whole. The Ping chain abstracted on-ramp is another product within the Ping umbrella that leverages near intent and the Coinbase API to allow users to on-ramp their preferred asset and to the destination wallet address that they would like on any chain. Like I've said before, this also powers the pay with card feature at checkouts, but is also packaged up as an SDK for teams to use, and they can essentially add fiat rails into any app, which Jas is going to run through the kind of elements of the SDK as well. To be honest, I think I can just throw the stage right back to you, Jas, if you are ready.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm gonna share my screen. Awesome. We'll do something similar. Let's go through the docs because we also need people to go through docs. And if you find something that's not working, please let us know. We can update that. Yeah, so Ping on-ramp SDK also takes the same route, but instead of you having to call APIs directly like the API version, we wrap it all around an SDK to make it easier for you. Let's see what's happening here. This is how you initialize the Ping on-ramp, and the major thing that you need to know here is, hold on, you need to integrate our function called PingPay on-ramp, and we have a bunch of other helpful functions here that you can import to sort of do error handling and then to sort of have better types around your results. So initialize the PingPay on-ramp, create an object of the PingPay on-ramp, define your target asset. This is very similar to what we are doing in the API. So do your chain, do your asset symbol. That's your target asset. That's one of the types you will input. Then you initiate your on-ramp with this target asset. So to use the on-ramp SDK for now, you just need to define your target asset, and you can just let this handle, and then one second. On-ramp button, what's happening here is, and then an initiate on-ramp gets called, and initiate on-ramp kinds of handle your on-ramp app popping up and you trying to do the actual on-ramp. So you can do a couple of other things as well, which are not in the docs example, but let me show in my Ping on-ramp example. This is again an example repo in PingPay IO organization on GitHub. You can access it at Ping on-ramp example. The new thing that I was telling you here is if you are an application which is integrating Ping on-ramp, you can set app fees that you get paid directly on intents. And this is how you define it. And this is 100 basis points. So 2.5 here actually means 0.25%. Thanks, AI. So what you're doing here is just import the PingPay on-ramp, and one second, import the PingPay on-ramp config, where you do the target assets as usual. You can initialize PingPay on-ramp without any config, or you can do it with config. And here we are doing it just with app fees, and also passing functions for what happens when the pop-up is ready or the pop-up is closed if you want to do something on your application side. So I put a recipient here for my demo app, and I put the fee. But when you integrate the Ping on-ramp, you can put your recipient, you could put your own fees here, and do the on ramp. And the only other thing is your target asset details, which is near and wrap near in this case, because intents only use wrap near as the near asset, although you get actual near in your account. So hopefully you are not going to be confused by that. What I'm trying to do now is run this and hoping that it works, because Coinbase doesn't work where I am right now. So, okay. Open on ramp. Alrighty. So I can say I want to buy 10 USD, and I want to spend 10 USD. This is the amount of near I'm going to get. But let's say I do USD coin for this. You can pick whatever chain you want right here. And then I can put my recipient address. And then I say pick card or bank transfer, or you could do Apple Pay if you're in the States, and then they do buy USDC. And this is where I think this is not going to work, because
this will probably where you get region block for where you are. I think with just to jump in on the payment options in the docs, we've also got an overview of all of the regions that are supported and the payment methods that are supported for each of those regions. In the US, you can do guest checkout via Apple Pay and on-ramp $500 per week with no KYC, which I think is pretty cool. There'll be a few things that we're going to do at NeoCon relating to that. But yeah, you can see here that Jazz is showing all of the region support that are available. Right now, we just use Coinbase as the kind of one of the on-ramp options, but that will be getting expanded beyond Coinbase. But after the hackathon. So right now it uses Coinbase API and intents.
Awesome. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Define your asset, define your app fees if you want to, and then let the SDK handle everything for you. You don't have to worry about trying to do the redirect yourself like the API version. So SDK handles everything for you, and again, it redirects back to you. It's asking me. I haven't signed up on Coinbase where I am right now, so that's what's happening here. But if you do a payment with Coinbase, you get on-ramped asset to your destination wallet ASAP.
There is a video version in the docs as well if you want it for the user flow, which you could pull up in the user journey. This will show kind of the post stage of payment. So I think if you go up, there should be the video. Scroll up. This is a video. Yeah, this is a video.
Okay.
So it initiates the on ramp. So this will be the screens that we weren't able to show because of Jass's region right now. But this is someone in the States, so they've got the Apple Pay option. But in this flow, they've chose to obviously input their card details to make payment. You just fill that out as you would in kind of payment with card in any location, then continue. Coinbase then makes the payment, and you then confirm the payment with Coinbase. That on-ramps your fiat into USDC on base. That's then routed through near intent to the destination asset and wallet that you set in the Ping on-ramp flow. So you can see there, it gives you the preview of what you're purchasing on Coinbase, go through the standard Visa flow, and then you are redirected to Ping once this is complete. So yeah, that's the Coinbase purchase confirmed, and then obviously redirects back to Ping. That deposit is now waiting in a deposit address on near intents for USDC on base. That is then swapped, as you can see, into the target asset in the example. And then once it's complete, it'll give you the full overview of that as well.
Awesome.
Viewed on Explorer. But yeah, that's the full kind of end-to-end user journey for debit card.
Awesome. Right. So yeah, that's it. We have the documentation. We have the example repos, and all of this is probably already in the resources. But if it's not, we can add it to the hackathon resources. Please let us know if you find any bugs in the documentation or examples. We're happy to help there, and in any bugs in the API and the SDK as well, we are happy to push fixes ASAP, and
Yeah.
really excited to see what people are going to build with Ping.
Yeah, so just to kind of piggyback off that, you can get started today in the dashboard link available there. You can obviously view the documentation. I think that's been popping up at different stages in the presentation as well. But there's also the Ping Twitter and Telegram RX if you want to reach out for kind of any more direct support or questions. And then if you wanted to scan the QR code on the right, that's the PingPay Telegram. So feel free to jump in there and we can kind of give any more direct support or questions in relation to anything like that. But yeah, that's kind of everything on terms of the workshop slides that we had prepared for the agenda. Happy to take any kind of questions, whether it be from Elliot or anyone in the chat.
Cool. I'll come on. Nice guys. Well done on the workshop. That was great.
Thanks, man.
I'm looking for questions. I don't see anything yet. So you need an API key in order to integrate the checkout itself.
Yeah.
And then for the on-ramp, do you need anything? Nothing.
Not right now.
No, not right now. But we are kind of rethinking the system there, and I think we would need an API sooner than later.
Yeah, okay. I think for the timeline of the innovation sandbox, you'll be fine without, but just keep an eye out, and we'll make sure to let anyone know of any changes for needing an API key going forward.
Nice. Yeah, and then I think the only other thing, I don't see any questions coming through, but did want to mention PingPay is used on the Near merch store. We actually got an update for that store coming soon. So that is a public repository. You can go and check that out for your guys' hackathon projects. Anyone building out there, it is here. At GitHub Near merch store. That has the full end-to-end flow that uses Ping checkout with the webhooks in order to process orders after it. It's a really simple integration. Excited for you guys. I think all you hackers, you should try it out for yourself.
Nice.
But okay, thank you guys for coming on. I'm gonna bring you guys off.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Elliot.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. That was Workshop 4 with PingPay. Exciting stuff. All right, so just to round it out, I gotta do the spiel again. For anybody that's tuning in, it is Friday, the 6th. We got 10 more days in the hackathon. The Innovation Sandbox, I have to run through it. It's breaking down into 3 tracks, including the PingPay track that we just learned about, the private web and private life consumer web apps that focus on privacy. You're using Near AI Cloud or shade agents and stuff here. AI that works for you, same type of deal. These are autonomous AI agents that are leveraging the private cloud, the private chat, shade agents, agentic payments, all of the Near tech stack, so that the AI agents can work for you. And also, actually, I will bring something up at the end that's very relevant to this that just got released. And then finally, the third track is Open Society, from finance to the real world. So this is leveraging the Near blockchain for particularly, its technology for using RWAs or leveraging Near Intents, which also has a very easy to use SDK. That was what was behind PingPay, and also building oracles. So leveraging technology like Yield Resume and projects in the ecosystem like Outlayer that really make this off-chain computation easy. Again, we've got some prizes. So it'll be $3,500 per track, a $2,500 only on Near bonus. So that'll be the best project that leverages Near's technology. It demonstrates the best use of it. And then 2 cross-track bonus bounties. We also have the additional ecosystem bounties. One was from Nova, which we talked about at the beginning of this week. Another is HotPay, who hasn't come on for the workshop, but you can find their bounty in the resources. And then Ping, who we just had this wonderful workshop by Joss and Jay just now. If you want to find the resources for this hackathon, you can scan this QR code right now. That will bring you to a Notion hub. You'll find you'll find a Telegram that you can join. You'll find the developer chats that we have to give you support. You'll find all the different SDKs and tools and starting points with Near, all the different projects that you can integrate, some examples, some templates. You'll also find the ecosystem bounties, so you can read more about the ones that we've just talked about today. And again, if you need some Near AI credits, you can scan this QR code. We can get you $5 worth of cloud credits. It is a open AI compatible SDK. It's a easy drop-in. You're just changing that gateway URL and then picking from the models that you want to use. So scan that QR code and get those credits. And then, of course, let's get started. So man, I should update this slide. Maybe not let's get started. If you haven't gotten started yet, go ahead and start doing it. You got 10 days left. But if you are still hacking, then let's get shipping. Let's round this out. Let's have a great end to this hackathon. We'll be doing a live stream for the judging all on I think February 19th. So stay tuned for that. And then, I did promise that I was going to show something. So I'm going to go a little bit off script just for a moment here, everybody. But the other day, I want to show that Near AI, market.near.ai. So if you are working on this track, AI that works for you, and leveraging Near's AI stack to build autonomous agents, definitely consider checking out market.near.ai. Let me put this in the chat. So this just got launched by the founder himself, Ilya. He published it earlier this week on his Substack. You essentially can register your agents. You can see all the jobs that are available. Your agent will read a skills markdown file, and essentially tells you how to interact with the site, how to create jobs, how to claim jobs, how to work on jobs. And then you're supposed to load up your OpenClaw or your Claude or anything that you got going on to load in this skill so it can communicate with this site. So I just want to run through it really quick because this is hot off the press. It's really cool. It's really showing kind of where Near AI is going and how it ties together the AI with intents, two of Near's biggest products, right behind or right along with the protocol. But essentially, you can post a job, agents can bid on them, an award gets sent to the agent that wins it, the agent completes the task, the agents give the deliverable, and then they get paid. So you can actually go ahead and browse all the jobs. There's 1,800 at the moment. Build a Python SDK for market.near.ai. If your agent does this, you can get 75 Near. I mean, we're not even talking about the hackathon bounties anymore. Like, this is real Near that you can claim right now and start building towards. It looks like a couple of them are already in progress. Some agents are working on it, advertising the marketplace on X, tweeting a thread about it. I wish that there was one about advertising it on a live stream because maybe I'd be able to win it. Building an agent job marketplace. This is cool, guys. It's all really fresh. There's a whole lot to explore. Only a couple have been completed so far. It just got released early this week. I think it was on Wednesday. There's plenty of documentation in the skills doc, and then looks like one leaderboard, one agent on the leaderboard. So anybody out there, you can get on and you can claim, and you can beat anybody on this leaderboard. There's plenty of funds to claim and work towards. Okay, I thought that was really relevant. I think that building an agent, maybe using OpenClaw, and claiming jobs on a marketplace, because it would be leveraging near AI and near intent. So that would be a great hackathon contribution. And then more information on the OpenClaw integration with near AI later. So near AI does offer deployment of your OpenClaw bot to it into their secure, trusted execution environments, and that just gives you a little bit more security. I'm supposed to make a video about that later, so you should expect to see a walkthrough on how to do that soon. Yeah, so I'll end it there. There's that QR code again. Scan it, get started, start shipping, start submitting your projects, get involved. And we will be having another 2 workshops next week, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching.